Somewhere, right now, on a public ledger that anyone on Earth can read, sits a fortune. Over 1 million Bitcoin. At today's prices, that's tens of billions of dollars. Untouched. Not hidden in an offshore vault. Not locked behind a bank steel door. Sitting in the open. Visible to everyone. Spendable by no one. Because the only person who can move it disappeared in 2011 and never came back. No body. No funeral. No goodbye. Just silence. A digital silence, so total, so complete, that for 15 years, the smartest cryptographers, the FBI, and investigative journalists with Pulitzer Prizes have failed to break it. He called himself Satoshi Nakamoto. He built the machine that would become worth over $2 trillion. And then he vanished. This is the story of the most consequential disappearance in financial history. To understand the ghost, you have to understand the moment he appeared in. The global financial system is in free fall. Banks that were too big to fail are failing anyway. Governments are printing money to bail them out. Millions of people are losing homes they thought were safe investments. And trust, the invisible currency that makes modern banking work, is evaporating in real time. It's into this chaos that a 9-page document quietly appears on an obscure cryptography mailing list. No press release. No company behind it. No CEO. Just an idea. A peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Money that needs no bank. No central authority. No single point of failure. And no single point of control. The author signs it with a name nobody Satoshi Nakamoto. 3 months later, he does something almost nobody expects. He builds it. January 3rd, 2009. The first block of the Bitcoin blockchain is mined. Embedded inside it, a quiet, pointed message. A headline from that day's newspaper about a second bank bailout. It's not an accident. It's a signature. A message in a bottle, thrown at the entire financial system. This is what I'm replacing. For 2 years, Satoshi is prolific. Hundreds of forum posts. Constant emails with early developers. Patient, methodical replies to bug reports, even as the project he built starts to attract real attention. He works mostly at night, by some accounts. His posting patterns suggest a time zone somewhere between the UK and the US East Coast. He never sleeps. Never reveals a real name, a real location, a real face. Then, late 2010, something shifts. A user on the forum suggests Bitcoin be used to fund WikiLeaks, then under siege from the US government. Satoshi's response is uncharacteristically sharp. He warns the community not to bring it on. Not yet. The project is too fragile. Too young. It cannot survive that kind of spotlight. On December 12, 2010, he makes his final public post. Just a software update. Defenses against attacks. Routine, technical. The next day, he logs in one last time, and then nothing. In the following months, he sends a handful of private emails to Gavin Andresen, the developer he's quietly grooming to take over. To Mike Hearn, another early contributor. He hands over the project's cryptographic keys. He asks, almost wistfully, not to be remembered as a mysterious, shadowy figure. And then, in one of his final messages, a sentence that would echo for 15 years. I've moved on to other things. He never logs in again. No warning. No farewell tour. No cash out. The man who invented $1 trillion technology simply stopped typing. For 15 years, the world has tried to fill that silence. 3 theories dominate. Theory 1. It was never a person at all. It was a government or an intelligence agency, building the ultimate tool for tracking and controlling money, disguised as the ultimate tool for escaping it. Believers point to the timing. Bitcoin appears just as the US is fighting a financial crisis in a war on terror financing, a perfectly engineered, perfectly anonymous, perfectly trackable ledger would be useful. There's no hard evidence, but the theory persists because it's almost too elegant to dismiss. Theory 2. Satoshi is a brilliant, reclusive cryptographer, part of the small, obsessive cypherpunk community that spent the 1990s dreaming of private digital money decades before Bitcoin existed. This theory has the most institutional weight behind it. In early 2026, it produced its most explosive chapter yet. A New York Times investigation, built on a database of over 100,000 mailing list posts and a year of forensic writing analysis, pointed directly at Adam Back, the British cryptographer who invented an early proof-of-work system years before Bitcoin existed, a system Satoshi himself cited by name in the Bitcoin white. The analysis found dozens of matching, obscure writing quirks between Back and Satoshi, a suspicious silence on the mailing lists during exactly the years Satoshi was active. A sudden reappearance. Weeks after Satoshi went dark, Back denied it. Repeatedly. Publicly. Forcefully. His company called the investigation circumstantial, and the cryptography community itself remains deeply split. Some calling it the most compelling case yet, others calling it a coincidence, dressed up as a verdict. The truth is, this is far from the first name floated. Hal Finney, Nekkisaba, Densasaman. Each one fits part of the puzzle. None of them fit it completely, and maybe that's the point. Maybe no single name ever will. Theory 3 is the bleakest, and maybe the most likely, that Satoshi is simply gone, dead, or incapacitated, or so deliberately erased from his old life that gone is the only honest word left. Some point to Hal Finney diagnosed with a terminal illness around the same time. Satoshi disappeared. As a haunting parallel, if this theory is true, then somewhere, those coins, worth tens of billions of dollars, aren't a fortune at all. They're a tombstone, a monument to a person who built something larger than themselves, and then simply ran out of time to claim it. Here's the twist. Almost nobody expects Satoshi's disappearance isn't a tragedy for Bitcoin. It's the feature that saved it. Think about it. If Satoshi was still here, still posting, still coding, still visibly in charge, Bitcoin would have a leader, and anything with a leader has a weak point, a person who can be arrested, pressured, subpoenaed, bribed, threatened, silenced, a founder who can be pointed to and through whom an entire system can be pressured to bend. By disappearing, Satoshi made that impossible. There is no headquarters to raid, no CEO to indict, no founder's signature required to keep the lights on. Bitcoin doesn't run because Satoshi maintains it. It runs because thousands of independent computers, with no central authority, simply agree to keep running it with or without him. His absence isn't a flaw in the story. It's the proof of concept. The ultimate test of whether a truly decentralized system could survive without the one person who built it. And 15 years later, it has. So here's the question this story actually leaves behind. Not who is Satoshi, but what did it cost him to disappear completely? To build something worth more than most countries' GDP. And never once take credit. Never spend a single coin. Never let a single person call him by his real name again. In an age where we broadcast our breakfast, our breakups, our breakdowns, one person did the opposite. They built the most consequential financial system in modern history and chose to become nothing. Total anonymity, it turns out, has a price. And Satoshi may be the only person in history who ever actually paid it in full. So I'll leave you with this. If you had to bet everything on one name, who do you think he really is? Drop your theory below. I read every single one. Subscribe to Silicon Shadow's new cases every week. The truth is always stranger than the algorithm.